All right, let's get into this. We could do a little bit of solo Dungeons and Dragons 4th edition. We'll see how well this goes, and we'll roll from there. All right, starting off, I think what we're going to do here first is let's do and check and see if there is any sort of surprise round going on between the characters coming down into this chamber here. So let's start off with let's do some stealth rolls for our party. Start with Andor. He does have a +9 because he is trained in stealth, obviously, as a rogue. Let's see how well he goes. Oh, that's a 29 right off the bat. So he's being real stealthy coming down this hall. Let's check on Harbeck, our dwarven fighter. He is not trained in stealth, so he's going to be directly going with his dexterity of +1. Let me make sure I got that right. Stealth is a dexterity, yes. So +1 for Harbeck. Not too bad. 15. And let's do one for Mira, who is our human wizard coming down the hall. She is also not trained in stealth, so we'll give her a +2 with her dexterity bonus. Oh, that's not very good. All right, she got a 6. So, maybe she bumped into something or clanked on something as she's coming down or tripped on something. Made a little bit of noise, and the party cringed just a little bit. With that, let's go to Perrin. He's got 0, so straight D20. Oh, is that a 2? That is a 2. Okay, so maybe Perrin, tried to catch Mira when she stumbled or something like that. I'm just going to go ahead and say that the goblins are going to be aware of our party members coming down because of the noise they made. And on top of that, their perception, they all have a +1. So even if I roll a 1, they're going to get to the 2 to find out. And so we'll just go ahead and start it off, roll some initiative, and the goblins will be aware and everyone will just act in order. Let's do it. Starting off, roll some initiative for the party. Yeah, those goblins are definitely ready, and the party is kind of a little bit down there. All right, let's get into it and see what happens. Starting off, Goblin Blackblade number 1. He's got a speed of 6, and he's going to want to get in there with his short sword. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, he can get right up on Harbeck because he's got a hard corner right there, but he could even go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to get in there and get an attack onto the dwarf. So let's go ahead and roll a short sword attack against Harbeck's AC of 18. It's going to be a +5. And he's going to get 16, which will be a miss. So after a move and a standard action, that will end the turn for our Blackblade. Let's go on to Goblin Warrior number 3. Now, these guys are pretty interesting. They got a great position trait where if they move at least 4 squares, they can make a ranged attack and do an extra 1d6 damage until the start of the next turn. So he's going to go ahead and pop back down next to the Blackblade number 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. And he's going to make a javelin attack against Andor. So let's do Andor's AC of 17. So it's going to be a +6 against Andor's AC. Let's see what we get. And that is not going to be enough to hit him. Good try, but not quite enough. So the goblins being prepared are kind of stumbling a little bit. No minor actions going on. They don't want to drop prone. I think for the actions involved into it, where are they? Yeah, no, we don't want to have them just drop prone or anything like that. It's kind of ridiculous. Let's move on. Goblin Blackblade number 2. He wants to get up there in the fray. These guys want to somehow get in there and basically flank these guys, because they have the Blackblade. They have this. They get an extra D6 damage against the people they have combat advantage against. So let's see if we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to have him stop there, because what he'll do is, if he can get someone to come out, maybe they can get a good flank on him. So I'm going to have him ready an action, ready a short sword action to anybody that comes into a square adjacent to him. So let's go ahead and add ready action short sword. This will be to the end of his next turn. This is beneficial. Save it on there. We'll see what happens. Goblin Warrior number 2. Let's have him go 1, 2, 3, 4 down next to his buddy. Have him do another javelin attack. Let's have him do it against Harbeck. Since his ally is up there, he won't have any cover or anything like that. So let's go ahead and do the javelin +6 versus AC against Harbeck of 18. That's pretty good. See how well he fares. Ooh, that just hits Harbeck. Ooh, that javelin sneaks in there around his black blade, around the goblin black blade, and he's going to do 2d6 because of the great positioning strike, and 2d6 +2. So this could be pretty bad. Let's see. Okay, not too bad. So 8 damage. Harbeck is going to take for the javelin. And that's 8 damage on there. Now let's check Harbeck, just in case he's got any sort of triggers. He has not acted yet, so he cannot get, he can't mark anybody. He does not have any triggered actions besides that, or his resounding weapon, which is a daily. We don't want to really use that yet. Mira doesn't have anything that helps Perrin. That's a critical hit, is a triggered reaction. And then healing words, and act for success, close +5. Choose the following, make a saving throw, free action, target gains +2 bonus to his next target. Okay, nothing we can really do at this moment, so let's just leave it on there. He got hit pretty good. Harbeck is down to 23. He had a 31 from that javelin hit. So let's go on with Warrior. Now it's going to be Andor's turn. Now, Andor is a wonderful rogue, halfling rogue, that has these great traits, racial feature and a class feature, to where he gets against opportunity attacks. So he is going to try to scurry on out away from both these black blades to try to get in there and engage these warriors that are range attacking him. So what I'm going to have him do is, he's going to do a movement of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to have him get to there, but he's going to take two opportunity attacks against him as he's coming past 1 and number 2, because he needs to get into there and start taking care of these guys, being the striker that he is. So let's do the first short sword attack of Blackblade number 1 against him, and Andor is going to get a +5 to his AC against the opportunity attack. So let's see if that actually fares for him or doesn't fare for him. Short sword +5. And this is going to make Andor's AC now 22 with the +5. First attack is definitely not going to hit it with a 7. So Andor is able to kind of scurry around that Blackblade number 1. Let's roll it again from Blackblade, the Goblin Blackblade number 2, and see what happens. 15. Ooh, it was close. It was close. 2 away, but he still is able to scurry out and around from it. Okay, so that was Andor's move action there. Now what he's going to do is he's going to deft strike. He is going to, before the attack, you can move 2 squares. So we're going to have him go 1, and I'm going to put him here for his 2 squares just to kind of get in with these 2, and he'll do a deft strike against number 2. This way he's kind of pinning in number 3 against the wall. Let's see what happens. Okay, so that's going to be a +9 versus AC on the warrior number 2 with the AC of 17. So let's give her a shot and see what happens. Ooh, that rolled right on the 1. Okay, so 11 is definitely going to be a miss. That was close. I saw it rolling around on that number 1, which is automatic miss anyway, and so is the number 2 roll on the D20. So Andor, he's hit by an attack. Nope, he has not been hit yet. He doesn't want to use his daily yet, so there's really nothing else he can do to kind of bolster that. I know Mira has something with her heroic effort that if she misses with an attack or her wand of accuracy, she can get a +2 to a single attack roll. But Andor doesn't, so he will end his turn right there. And we'll move on to Goblin Warrior number 1. So I don't think he likes this halfling coming in here. And, I don't know which one he would really want to head towards because he's seen his buddies throwing it at the party at the entrance there. So maybe what we'll do is let's see if he wants to move for, and I think I'm going to have him strike against Andor because he's seeing him coming in there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Have him bring him back here. Throw a javelin against Andor. So Andor's armor class is 17 with a +6 against AC for the warrior. That's a 9. Oh, so close. But he does miss. So Andor kind of anticipating the attack coming in with these warriors, kind of seeing what they've done as he's had a javelin come at him already. Now he's kind of in the fray with these 2 as they're bouncing around, throwing their javelins. But he does miss, and so we'll move on. Next one is Mira. Okay, so Mira, I think it would be perfect to lay down a scorching burst, an area burst 1 within 10 squares, each creature in the burst. So let me grab an area mark here, and that is fire damage. So we'll pull out the orange. And here we go, area burst 1. She can set it right there to be right in front of Harbrick. And we'll see if we can do some damage to both these guys here. So Scorching Burst is going to be a +5 versus reflex, and these black blades reflexes are 14. So let's give her a shot and find out what happens. So +5. So this will be the first roll against the Goblin Blackblade number 1. And that just barely hits. Yep, 14. Let's roll it again for number 2. And that one just barely hits 2. Same exact roll twice. Wow, okay. That works. We'll go ahead and roll some damage now against both of them. The Black Blades do have a Goblin Tactics and also a shifting thing, but they weren't missed. They were hit by the attack. So let's roll some damage on Scorching Burst. So 1d6 plus 5. So both of them, minimum damage. We'll take 6 damage, but still it's something. So on number 1, 6 damage. And Blackblade number 2, 6 damage likewise. Okay, they're down to 19. Good shot for Mira. I'll have her area effect go away. She still does have a minor action. Really nothing else to do right now. Just got some cantrips, but nothing really that will help out. So I think I'll just have her hold her ground right there. I did forget one thing. The Blackblade had a readied action too to strike. I better do that onto Andor with his short sword. So when he came in to take his opportunity attack, he really should have taken the short sword attack, which is his basic one anyway, so we'll leave it at that. Never mind, we'll move on. On to Perrin. All right. Let's have Perrin. He does have... does he have any sword? He's got a Lance of Faith, which is ranged 5. Area burst 1 within 10. And the targets are slowed. I don't know if we really want to slow him right now. I don't think I want to do his daily either. Close burst 3. Being on the Beacon of Hope. Kind of leaning towards grasping shards right now. Yeah, because everything else is 1 attack. If he does Lance of Faith, he gives someone he can see a +2 bonus. That might go good for Harbeck, his next hit. Let's do that. Let's just go ahead and do a Lance of Faith on number 1 in front of Harbeck, and see. Let me just double check something. No, we don't need any temporary hit points at the moment. Yeah, let's just do the Lance of Faith. Okay, so +4 against Reflex. Again, Reflex of 14 for the Blackblade, number 1. Yeah, let's see what happens. Ooh, it's a 19. Almost critical, but that is a good hit. Lance of Faith, he's going to do 1d8 +4 for radiant damage, and when ally he can see. So we're going to give Harbeck. Let's do his damage first. 1d8 +4 onto Blackblade number 1. And that is going to be 8 damage onto him. So he's getting hit pretty good. Got him down. He's now bloodied. Excellent. And let's give the +2 bonus to Harbeck for his next one there. So I'm going to take Blackblade's one off here. Let's remove that. Ready to action. Let's go to Harbeck as he's next up. Let's add his +2 attack bonus versus, call it GB1. And I think that just ends on his turn too. So Harbeck source there is beneficial. End of target's next turn. Okay, so nothing really else. He does have a move action, so with that, I think I'm going to have him step forward just in case he wants to smash with a healing strike or something like that. I got a feeling that number 1's going to die, but we'll see. The dice gods may go in their own way. But let's move Perrin forward there, have him shift up, and end his turn that way. I mean, he does have a minor action where he can do a healing word before he moved. Just kind of close burst 5. to heal somebody, but I don't think we really need to do that right now with Harbeck. He's not in dire straits, and on top of that, he's got 12 surges that give him 7 for each surge, so I think we'll be okay. Let's move on. Harbreck's up next. Oh, he's got that black blade sitting right in front of him. He doesn't like that. We're just going to have him do a reaping strike. Because he does not have anybody else next to him. I don't really want to have him move and risk getting some opportunity attacks. Because he would have to move 2 like this. Go 1, 2 to get in there to cleave. But yeah, his biggest damage, I think, right now is 2d6 plus 4. Only if he can cleave there, he would get somebody else. And then a spinning attack, he could knock him prone. But we're really not worried about these guys really moving too much. And on top of that, we don't want him to get caught in a combat advantage against these guys. So let's just go ahead and do a reaping strike against Blackblade number 1 right in front of him. So it's going to be a +7 versus AC, and the Blackblade's AC is 16. So +7 on a reaping strike. Let's roll it. Oh, nice. That is a hit. And okay, so well, I guess we could have had him mark him, but whenever an enemy marked by him, we'll see if he dies, if he needs to mark him or not, because he's going to do 2d6 plus 4 damage. And then if he does miss, it'll be a minimum 3. So he did not miss, so he's going to do the 2d6 plus 4. Let's see what happens here. Oh, minimum damage. Ah, that sucks. So 6 more damage off of that one. He's still around to survive. He's down to 5. That really stinks, because his turn is up next. Let's go ahead and take away that +2. He hit hard. I mean, that was a 27 with the +2 against AC of 16. So, but I can have him shift, but I'm not going to have him do that because I don't want that Blackblade to get in there and try to start hitting on Mira, our wizard. So let's go ahead and leave Harbreck right there. He'll stay in his spot, and we will. He doesn't have any other minors besides he could use his second wind as a minor. There again, I don't think we're at that spot to where he needs to do anything like that. Let's go ahead and move on. And it's going to be the Blackblade number 1. Now, he's been hitting pretty hard. He got hit by both the cleric and the warrior. So what I'm going to have him do is let's have him do his short sword attack against Harbreck, because Harbreck hit him the hardest, and see if he can hit him. So he's got a +5 versus AC. Harbreck's AC is 18. Oh, that is a critical hit. Ooh. Okay. This Blackblade, he definitely did not like that whole action coming in there. So them kind of piling up on him. So he strikes out hard with his bloodied and here hanging on by 5 hit points. He hits hard for 8 damage for a critical hit on Harbreck. That's pretty good. That there will bloody Harbreck. Now let's see if Perrin has any triggered actions here. Okay. Got the damage on there, but Perrin does have a triggered an immediate interrupt. An enemy scores a critical hit against you or an ally within 5 squares. Was right next to him. The critical hit becomes a normal hit. Okay, so we can save. Let's go back to Harbreck here. Let's add his 8 hit points back on. So he's up to 23 again. And with Perrin, he's going to use his channel divinity power of Armor of Bahamut. And let's go ahead and mark that one off. Where'd it go? There it is. Used it. with that critical hit, the critical hit becomes a normal hit. So we're going to need to roll some damage. And he can only use one channel divinity power per encounter. So that's the one. So let's roll 1d6 plus 2. Hopefully we don't get max damage. You never know. And we get minimum. That's better. So Perrin is able to take care of Harbrick there with a little bit of his power and save him some. Oops, I did it wrong place. Go back on there. 3 damage onto Harbrick. He's only down to 23 now. So much better spot for Harbrick because of our Cleric Perrin using his immediate interrupt power for a critical hit. Let's go ahead. And at this point, I'm going to have the Black Blade shift back 1. Kind of get away from this guy because, I mean, he's hit pretty hard. He's got 5 hit points left. He's bloodied. He's right up there by both of them. They're coming in at him. And also, it would be better for him to shift around to get into a better combat advantage so that he might be able to do a little bit more damage on there. So we'll have him shift back 1, leave it at that. He does have a triggered action that's at will. It's a reaction. If he's missed by an attack. He hasn't been missed, though, lately. So one thing we need to keep in mind is sneaky. Their trait, sneaky. When shifting, a Goblin Blackblade can move into a space occupied by an ally of its level or lower, and the ally shifts into its previous space. So, you know, they were in melee. Number 2, I guess, could have come up and done that, and they swapped spaces or something like that. But it's a shift, so, you know, it's got to be 1 square away. For a standard move action shift, or if they trigger the immediate reaction of the Goblin tactics. So, moving on. Goblin Blackblade number 1 shifts back away from Harbrick, the dwarf that's smashing him with the maul, and the cleric who's shooting out radiant damage at him through his Lance of Faith. So he's stepping back and holding his ground. Warrior number 3. Okay, he is now in melee with Andor. So does he really want to risk? I mean, he could risk shifting or moving out and taking a opportunity attack from Andor, but then he could still get off a javelin attack. So let's try that. So let's have him do like a 1, 2, 3, 4. Come up here and do a throw against either Harbrick or Perrin. But as he moves out from here to there, we're going to take an opportunity attack. So let's see what happens there first before we move him up. So Andor, he gets to make a melee basic, which is the only one he has is just this melee basic, 1d6 versus AC. All right, let me look something up here real quick. I want to make sure I'm getting this right for opportunity attacks. Immediate opportunity. In a fight, everyone is constantly watching for enemies to drop their guard. A creature can rarely move headlessly past its foe or use a ranged attack. Okay. Moving provokes once per combat, and ranged in area provoke. Interrupts target's action. An opportunity action takes place before the target finishes his action. After the opportunity attack, the creature resumes its action. If the target is reduced to 0. Okay, so he still gets to go it. He's just going to take a hit if he gets there. So Andor is going to make a melee basic plus 6 against AC, which is a 17 on the warrior. So let's see what we get. Ooh, that is just missed by 1. Do you see it roll from the 19 to the 10? That was close. Anyway, so he'll make it out. He does not get hit by Andor with his opportunity attack. He will go forward, and let's have him throw his javelin against Perrin. So you do a +6 versus AC. Perrin's 17 AC, and he could possibly get an extra D6. So +6. Ooh, that's going to hit 22. Yep. All right. He's going to get that extra D6 because he did move 4 squares with his trait of great position. So it's going to be 2d6 plus 2 damage. Yeah, we might need to be doing some healing here pretty soon. Let's find out. Ooh, those ones, they are. I'm rolling a lot of minimum damage today. That's 4 on Perrin. That's pretty good. We can deal with that. Minimum damage only drops him down to 22 out of 26. Not that bad. Not enough to where we need to kind of worry about healing right now in the middle of combat. Using some healing words or anything like that, or second winds. Right, going on. The warrior, he throws his next javelin. He's done there. So now we're on Blackblade number 2. They really need to get in there and try to get Harbrick out, which he probably will come out and do a cleave here next round. So let's have him move up and attack Perrin for Blackblade number 2 with his short sword. +5 versus AC against Perrin's 17. Rolling it, that is going to be a hit. Oh, Perrin is dire straits here. Well, not really dire straits, but he's just got hit twice in a row. Yeah, let's see what kind of damage happens this way. Oh, max damage. That's 8 damage on Perrin. Okay, so he's hurting. Now we're at that spot where I might need some something. He's not bloodied, but at the same time, I don't think he has any other reactions he could do. Divine Fortune is not a channel divinity. Oh, it is a channel divinity. Can't use it. He doesn't want to use a symbol of life. It's a daily already. Let's see. Healing words. Nothing else except for on his turn. So that's pretty much it. So Perrin is down to 14 hit points, 14 out of 26. So he's 1 away from being bloodied. So he's going to need to do some healing here. That's it for number 2. Nothing really. He took a move and then he short-sworded on Perrin. Goblin Warrior number 2. He's kind of stuck there. So he's just going to go ahead and shift over and use his spear attack against Andor. So he will do a +6 versus AC with his spear against Andor with a 17 AC. So let's see what comes up. That is going to be a hit. All right, our group is now starting to take some shots here with the spear 1d8 plus 2. Oh, this could get bad. Not too bad. Not too bad. 5 damage on Andor. That is his first hit. So 5 damage there. He does not have any sort of triggered reactions. Well, he does right there. Second chance. You are hit by an attack. The attacker must re-roll the attack and use the second roll, even if it's lower. That really wasn't too much damage here at the moment. I don't think I want to expense or use that that encounter power right yet, because it's not really dire straits yet. Perrin's looking pretty bad, but Andor still, that's only 5 damage off there. I think he's okay. So also with that, he's gonna shift 1 to try to get some space between him and Andor. But I don't know how well that's gonna go for him. Andor's up next. And that's all he can really do. So, Andor, Um, you know, positioning strike, maybe? He could slide him 3, but it's really not. Well, he could slide him 3. He could make his positioning strike, slide him 3, and then move in to melee with both number 1 and 2. Let's give that a shot. Let's give it a shot. So Andor right here is just going to immediately go into his positioning strike. Let's go ahead and use that power. It's going to be a +9 versus will, which on number 2, warrior number 2, his will is 12. So this could be good, could be bad. Let's find out. Positioning strike versus will. That's going to be a hit. Nice. Okay, so he will hit him, and it'll take 1d4 plus 5. Come on, Max. There you go. 9 damage on number 2. Warrior number 2 takes 9 damage. And then with Andor's power, he is going to slide the target 3 squares. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3. Then with Andor's move action, he's going to get up into melee with those guys. So 1, 2, 3. Or maybe I'll have him go. Yeah, he wants to get into both of them there. So that way, if they move away, he can get an opportunity attack, hopefully to hit this time. And we'll see what happens. Definitely don't want to use his repulsion armor at the moment, but he's kind of now holding these warriors to spear attacks, or if they can take an opportunity attack, to move away. But number 1's kind of pinned up against the wall there. I mean, I guess he could shift back behind the warrior number 2 on his turn to kind of get away. But still, he's not going to be able to move very far to get a javelin attack off. He could just do a javelin attack, ranged wise, but he won't get that great positioning strike. So, good turn, Andor. Let's move on. Goblin warrior number 1. It's his turn. Okay, so what I think I'll have him do is I'll have him make a melee attack, a spear attack against Andor, and then have him shift back there to kind of get back behind. He sees this little halfling just flying into the room, and he's just like, using his dagger, slicing into the goblins. So let's see what happens. Let's do a spear attack +6 versus AC. Andor's AC is 17. Oh, almost critical, but it's a hit again. Oh, Andor. Maybe we should have rethought this. Oh, max damage, 10 damage on Andor. Goodness, that's going to hurt. That is going to bring him down. He's now bloodied. So Perrin's got to get in there. Andor's way back there. He's in the back other end of the room here. He's now bloodied after this hit. And after that, he's going to shift back to try to see if he can get some room so that he can get moving and start using his javelin attacks again. They did say that these goblins were getting more bold and that they were getting more tactful. So you can kind of see that kicking in now as the combat's starting to get more heated and more heated. And we are on to coming to the end of round 2 and heading into round 3. So Perrin needs to get out there and get some healing going, especially on himself and Andor. It's Mira's turn here at the moment. Let's have her. She's good where she's at. I just don't know if she can reach or lay down something that can actually reach all 3 of them there. Or maybe she could shoot something down towards Andor to kind of loosen these 2 up a little bit. I mean, she does have her magic missile, and she has her staff of missile mastery, but that's a daily. I really don't want to use that yet. Yeah, I don't want to bring out her dailies yet. Let's see what we got here. Burning Hands is close blast 5. That's too much there. Magic Missile range 20, we can hit with that. Range 10, 1 creature. So really coming down again to the area burst 1 within 10 squares. Because Burning Hands is a close blast 5. She might be able to do that, but she can't get past Perrin or anybody. Maybe what I'll have her do... No, because then Perrin, if he gets in there, he's going to... Yeah, that's not going to work. Well, she might be able to slow down. And that's a daily with the sleep. I don't want to pull that one out either already. Okay, let's just go ahead and stick with the Scorching Burst, the fire damage, and let's put that area of effect back out there again. See where we can have her put it. I think that would be good because then she could possibly knock out number 1 and then soften up number 3 a little bit since he's not taking any damage. I think that would be a better option than trying to take out number 2. Because number 2, Blackblade, he's down to 19, but he's got 2 heavy hitters in front of him. Let's try that. Let's try the Scorching Burst there. We'll go on the Blackblade number 1 first. 5 versus Reflex, and his Reflex is going to be 14. 8. Oh, just missed it Y1. But we do have some things that we can use to make that hit. Heroic Effort and also Wand of Accuracy. You gain a +2 bonus to a single attack roll. You must be wielding wand. Yep, she has a wand and she does have a staff. So we could be having her wield the wand for that. Or Heroic Effort, you miss with an attack, you gain a +4 racial bonus to the attack roll or saving throw. So let's go ahead and use Wand of Accuracy right now. And then let's make the second roll against the warrior. Against his reflex, which will be 15, 1 higher, so we need something better. That's not better. And even with our heroic effort, 4 more on 8 is not going to make a difference. So, did not soften up that warrior number 3 very much. Well, not at all. But let's see what kind of damage we can do on 1, see if we can take him and send him to the graveyard. Scorching Burst, 1d6 +5. That's going to end his life. We'll go ahead and roll it anyway, but that will take him out with max damage of 11. So 11 damage. And Blackblade number 1 is sent to the graveyard. He is out of there. Take away the area effect. Good job, Mira. Gosh, she really wants to get out there, try to help out Andor. I mean, she could hit him with the magic missile and everything too, but we got to get rid of that number 2 so far. So I think I'll just have her shift over to there. She did use her Wand of Accuracy. Nothing really else she can do as a minor action or anything else. So moving on. Perrin, he's got Blackblade number 2 in front of him. He's not going to be able to do 19 damage, but he can do, let's see, a healing strike. But Andor is not within 5 squares of him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's within 7 squares, so he would have to get out there. But if we had him kind of move out, 1, 2, 3, 4, take an opportunity attack from number 2. Here he would be within 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. So Let's have him do that. Let's have him come from here, step out, and then take an opportunity attack from the black blade number 2 and see what happens. Hopefully things go well. Perrin does not have anything that gives him protection against opportunity attacks trait-wise. Diplomacy checks, healing lore. You gain the armor of power you can use. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. All right, so black blade number 2 is going to make a short sword +5 versus Perrin's AC of 17. Come on, miss. That's not a miss. That's 19. So 1d6 +2 damage. Perrin takes it for Andor. 4 damage. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. 4 damage on there. He's down to 10. I think he's bloodied. He is bloody too. So our heroes are really taking it hard right now. But Perrin is doing that for so he can make a healing strike and then allow Andor to, I think it's him, you or one ally within 5 squares of you can spend a healing surge. Okay. Let's go ahead and do that. So let's have Perrin do a healing strike on number 3. He is going to do a healing strike, which is a +3 versus AC on number 3, who is AC 17. Ooh, this is going to be a little bit tough. Ooh, 15. It's a miss. That was so close. Yeah, 17. Healing strike. And you mark on a hit, it does the radiant damage. Marked. In addition, you or one ally within 5 squares you can spend. So it's a hit, but he didn't hit. I'm not sure if his ability still goes off, though, because he didn't hit. Oh, that really sucks. Because he could have used that healing. So we'll leave it at that. He did not hit. He did the 2d8 plus. He didn't do any damage on him with the healing strike because he did not hit. Missed it by 2. I don't think there's anything anybody can do to buff that at this point. Let's see, Perrin. Nope. His minor actions. Well, I guess he could still take a minor action. Oh, yeah. He could still use his minor action and do a healing word. Close burst 5, you or one ally in the burst, the target can spend a healing surge and regains 1d6 additional hit points, plus the +3 for the his healer's lore. So we're going to do that. So Andor's in there with 2. They're both at 10. I think Perrin could be okay because he could heal some more again, but he needs to give that healing to Andor. So let's have him use his first healing word encounter. And he will close burst 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, off of him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's definitely going to. Wait. Yeah, close burst 5. It's going to do. Okay, so get back up here. Andor. He gets to spend a surge, right? He spend a healing surge and regain 1d6 additional hit points plus the 3 for there. So let's go to Andor. He's going to spend a healing surge. That will give him 6. He's no longer bloodied. And he's going to get the 1d6 plus 3 in addition to it. Not too much. But still 5. So 11 healing. He's back up to 21. That's good. Good play, Perrin. Way to bolster the team there. Keep them keep him healed and going, and you're out in the room so we can have more things happen. That being said, that should be all the rest. He's used a move, he's moved the standard, and he's now used a minor. Target gains +2 bonus to his next skill check. Target gains a +2 bonus to his or next attack roll made before the end of the. Oh, that's pretty interesting. Axe for success. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Harbeck. Yeah. Gosh, I wish there was a way he could move this guy. I wonder if he knocked him prone with a spinning sweep. Could Mira get up and around? Let's see what happens. Can people make opportunity attacks when they are knocked prone? Creatures climbing. The creature grants combat advantage to attackers making melee attacks against it, but it gains a +2 bonus to all defenses. Okay, gains a -2 penalty to attack rolls. So that's a possible thing here. Let's give it a try. Let's give it a shot. Harbrick, let's have him do his spinning sweep with his maul to see if he can knock that Blackblade down to the ground. Trying to see if there's anything else he can have there. I guess he should mark somebody too. But yeah, let's do that. Spinning sweep +7 versus AC against 2, which 16 AC +7. Come on, Harbeck. Yes, that's a hit. Okay, so he is going to do 2d6 +4 damage, and he's going to knock him prone. Roll it up. 8. 12 damage. Nice. That's good. Big hit on Goblin Blackblade number 7. And on top of that, too, he is prone. And I think it's not to the source's next turn. I think it's special because it's till he stands up. So we'll go ahead and put him prone there. I'll leave it prone up so he's -2 attack rolls. With that, we'll have Harbeck shift over this way so Mira can get out on her next turn. But that leaves open, is still open for that Blackblade to get in there. Let's see what happens. Okay, Harbeck is done with his turn. Goblin Blackblade number 2 is next. No, I'm sorry, the Warrior number 3 is next. He's still not hurt, but he's got this cleric bearing down on him who just barely missed him. So he will use his spear attack against the cleric who was hurting. He knows he's hit him pretty good with that. Yeah. No, it was the Blackblade number 2 that hit him that gave the opportunity attack. So anyway, +6 versus AC of Perrin 17. Come on, miss. For Perrin's sake. That is not a miss. Oh my goodness. All right. 1d6 +2. Oh, that's going to be 6 damage. Perrin is hurting. He is a hurting unit. He is down to 4 hit points. Gosh, is there something he could do? Nope, he uses channel divinities. He's just going to have to do some healing on himself. He's probably going to have to second wind his own self there. Well, we'll see what happens. He's hurting right now. And Goblin Warrior number 3, we'll have him shift down 1. Actually, shift over 1. Shift over from here to there. So he can kind of try to see if he can get some room from here. Because maybe Perrin can step back and do some healing or something. I'm not sure. Gosh, he used his healing strike, which was an encounter power too. So get that out of there. That's the one that failed. Ugh. All right. Moving on. Number 3, he's done. Blackblade number 2, he'll go ahead and do first a short sword attack against Harbrick. $14 plus, that's a hit. 19, just hit him by 1. Man, these goblins are getting tough. 2 damage, minimum damage, excellent. 3 damage on Harbrick. That's what we needed. 3 damage on Harbrick's down to 17. He's not bloodied. And then we're going to have this Blackblade. He's going to take a step back. Because he might be able to move in and get with Perrin in a keep it, combat advantage against him. Kind of knock out the cleric if he can. That's all he's got. Keep forgetting about goblin tactics because I thought one of them did get hit or did get missed. Oh, that's right. It was number 3 did get missed. He could have shifted 1 away from him. Anyway, we won't retcon that. We'll just keep going. All right. Warrior number 2. He's going to spear attack against Andor. Newly healed Andor. +6. Against Andor is got 17 AC. See what happens. That's a hit. That's a hit. 1d8 +2. Goodness. These goblins are digging in. 7 damage against Andor. Just like that. It's down to 14 again. Andor's got to do something heavy here. He needs to get some combat advantage, or he wasn't able to use his first strike to where he was, anything on there. But man, if he could land a critical hit, it could be deadly. With that, he'll shift back 1, 2, because he's not wanting to deal with this this halfling they keep hitting. But I think I see something now that could actually work for Andor, and his turn's next. So Andor, kind of biting off more that he can chew, is going to come back 1, 2, 3, 4, and he is going to make a combat advantage. Now that he has combat advantage, he can get his extra sneak attack damage in there if he can hit. And let's have him make a sly flourish attack. Because he already did his positioning strike. So sly flourish against number 3. That is going to be a +9 versus AC against number 3's AC of 17. Oh, but also on top of that, we got to remember, for a combat advantage, he gets a +2 to the attack roll. So that's going to be 11. +2 to the attack roll. The creature gains a +2 bonus to attack roll against targets, granting combat advantage. Beautiful. Okay, let's roll it. Oh, he hit though. He still hit. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. He hit by 1, even with a +11. Rolled a 7. Ugh, that's crazy. Gosh, he hasn't used his second chance yet either. I got to keep that in mind. The attacker must re-roll it again. So yeah, if it gets there. Anyway, let's go back to Andor. His Sly Flourish is going to hit, and he's going to get his sneak attack damage in there too. So it's going to be the 1d4 +8. and the 2d8s for his backstabber feat. So his sneak attack damage is, for rogues is d6, but since he has the backstabber feat, he gets d8s. So come on, big roll. Okay, 17 damage on warrior number 3. That's his first damage he's taken this at all here. Instantly bloodied by the halfling. Good move, Andor. Good move to get closer to the healer, kind of tighten the group back up. You had to take away from the 2 javelin guys, but they were doing more damage and hitting more with their spears from, up close in melee instead of their ranged attacks. So hopefully that keeps going that way. I don't know. We'll find out. He doesn't really have any minors. He doesn't have a trigger he wants to do. So let's move on with Andor. Good spot there. And he's also going to leave Perrin a strike to possibly get get some healing on there and combat advantage. We'll see how it goes. Goblin warrior number 1, obviously 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to go after Andor. He's going after Andor with his javelin attack. +6 versus AC. And Andor's AC is at 17. That's a hit. Oh my goodness. He's going to get the extra d6 in there too. So 2d6 plus 2. This could be bad. Not too bad. 6 damage on Andor. That's going to bloody him. That will bloody Andor again. Ugh. Man, this is not looking good. I mean, it's not dire, but it's still at the same time, man, they're really getting hit hard by these goblins in this front room. But, maybe that's why they set these certain goblins in there. They kind of started off a little bit slow, and now they're just kind of picking up speed and really hitting hard. Let's move on from there. There's nothing else they can do. He got that extra damage in there. Mira. Okay. What can she do? The number 2 in front of her has 7 hit points exactly, and that's exactly what she can do with her magic missile. 6 plus 1. So with Harbreck and Perrin coming up, we need to get this prone guy out of here. He is prone on the ground, so creatures take a -2 attack roll, but a magic missile is an auto hit. He does get +2 to his defenses, so let's go ahead and have her do her magic missile from where she's currently at, range 20. And she is going to, I know she's got her daily down there that she can actually hit 2 targets with it, but we don't want to expend that right now. So she'll do her 6 force damage plus 1 implement enhancement bonus damage to it too. So we're going to do exactly 7 damage on the Black Blade number 2. And that is going to end him. It's down to the graveyard. And now Mira can actually get in here too. So she has a speed of 6. So let's have her go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's have her end right there. That way she's got some, range stuff she can do against these 2 guys. They're moving around to try to get javelin shots on it. I'm sure number 2 is going to try to hit her with something. Maybe we could get Perrin to do something else there. Good magic missile strike to free up that for Perrin so he could step back and get some healing. So let's move on. No minors that she can take. Perrin. Turn, we really need to have him do a healing word and use a surge as maybe his second wind. Let me look that up here real quick and see. Actions in combat. Second wind is actually a standard action. But if he does a healing word, he can actually get the extra healing onto himself, which he needs right now. There again, so does Andor, but maybe he can back off and use it as a minor. Maybe he could shift with his move action, and then he can go back with his standard action, do a move action from there, and then healing word minor on Andor. So we'll put him back here next to Mira. Let's go back one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yes, he is within 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he's going to use his second healing word on Andor again. Yeah, close burst 5. So Andor is going to be able to use another healing surge, and he will gain 6 hit points. Gain 6 hit points, plus an extra 1d6 plus 3. That's another 5, so better than nothing. Better than nothing. Especially when he's our striker out there. Gets him back up to 19, closer, a little bit better. That way, Perrin is bloodied a little. He's still bloodied, but he's still making sure he's taking care of the party first, healing wise. And we'll go ahead and leave it at there. I don't think there's anything else I can have him do. He's just like hanging there at 5 hit points. I mean, could be. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Harbrick. All right, Harbrick is going to definitely take advantage of that combat advantage against number 3. So he'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Move his 4 in. He's now flanking with Andor. And he is going to do... He already did his spinning strike to knock the other one prone. I got to mark that off used. He's going to do his reaping strike. +7 versus AC against warrior number 3, who is bloodied. AC of 17. So reaping strike +7. Come on, Harbrick. Big hit. That's going to hit. That will hit. The warrior takes, he's going to hit exactly, one above, 18 to 17. Reaping strike, 2d6 plus 4. Come on, big damage. There you go, 14 damage. Oh, that's going to be just enough to actually take care of this warrior and send number 3, our next casualty. So the goblins came back pretty well. Perrin's healing has really helped out a lot, but they have the adventurers have definitely found their kind of knack here and got into it, seeing things that thinking maybe it was a little bit easy, but not now. They've got it taken care of. Harbrick does have a minor still left. He is at 17, so I'm going to have him spend his second wind as his minor action power, and he will use a healing surge. So take 1 off, and he heals for 7, which will bring him back up to 24. And then we will move on. Goblin number 2. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Obviously, what are they going to do? They're going to do a javelin attack. He just got, sort of seen what Mira did with the magic missile, so he's going to focus his javelin attack onto her. So +6 versus AC. And Mira's AC is at 14. It's low there. See what happens. That's definitely going to be a hit. He's going to get the extra d6 damage too, so 2d6 plus 2. Hopefully we roll low. Everyone's been hit in this encounter. That's going to be 7 damage on Mira. She takes a hit pretty well. It's not bloodied. She's okay. We'll go from there. Moving on, the Goblin Warriors. Now back to Andor. Andor's feeling a little bit better with some healing. He's had to spend 2 healing surges already in here. That's not good. but I think we'll have him, first of all, do his Death Strike to where he can move 2. You can move up to 2 squares. So we'll just have him move. He's here, 1, 2. That's what we'll have him do. Kind of pin him up against the wall there again and do a Death Strike. And he'll still have his move action after that, so he could actually shift and maybe pin. Yeah, we'll try this. Death Strike +9 versus AC. And number 1's AC is at 17. That's going to be a hit. Nice. He doesn't have combat advantage, so he's not going to get the extra sneak attack damage, but he will get his 1d4 +5. And that will be 7 damage on to number 1. Oh my gosh, number 1 has not taken any hits so far. Woo! That's his first hit. Okay. So maybe we have the fighter and there take care of that. So here's what I think we're going to do. Oh, and number 1 gets to go next, but maybe we can still get into it. So Andor, he just did his standard action where he gets to move up to 2 squares to get him into this position here. Now he will use his move action and he will shift there to kind of get on the other side of that. And then obviously this goblin is going to shift one direction or not. I guess he could shift back that way. But then, yeah, then Harbeck can't get combat advantage on him. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Good hit. On with Andor. Goblin Warrior number 1. Obviously, he's going to do a spear attack against Andor first. So +6. Versus Andor's AC of 17. That's a critical hit, people. Now, Andor does have his second chance. You are hit by an attack. He was hit by a critical attack, but you can make the attacker re-roll it even if it's lower. So we're going to have him use his second chance this time because we saved that for exactly this kind of reason. So let's roll it again and see what happens. Hopefully it's not a critical again. And that's a 19. So it's going to be a regular hit, but at least it's not a critical hit. So spear, 1d8 +2. Oh, big damage. 8 damage on Andor. Is that going to bloody him? It does. Oh, poor Andor's. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Being bloodied, not getting bloodied. He's just kind of getting smacked around here. I mean, he came running into the room, they missed some opportunity attacks with him. I don't think they were ready for that, but then they've kind of set their feet down and, got ready to actually take on these adventurers. So he still does have a move action, so we're going to have him shift that direction. He needs to get away from this crazy little, halfling that's still coming after him. And then that will end his turn. Mira is next. She's going to focus in on number 2. Number 2 is at 20 hit points. They're still loaded up pretty well. So let's have her do her burning hands for the encounter. Close blast 5. So that is going to be fire damage, and it's going to look like this. So she's just going to light them up. All right. Burning hands. Let's go ahead and mark off the encounter power. And she will do +5 versus reflex. And number 2's reflex is currently at 15. Let's see what happens. That's not even close. But she does still have her heroic effort. But with the 4, the racial bonus to the attack roll is not going to be enough. The 9 and the 4 will give us 13, which was still not. It's 2 away from it. Golly, that's horrible use of the burning hands. With miss, she does half damage still, though. So that's good. So let's go ahead and roll our 2d6 plus 5 and divide it by 2. So that's going to be 11. So we will do 5 damage on number 2. He is down to 15. I'll take away the zone. All right, we tried. Mira tried. She still does have a move action. So I think she's going to shift back here to try to keep a block. Even though she can see that there, I think she'll stay where she's at. Because Perrin's hurting. He's at 4 hit points. But at least number 2 is kind of focusing in on her. And Mira is still sitting at 16 hit points. And we'll go ahead. We'll leave her there. Maybe we'll have her. No, let's just leave her there. Or maybe have her shift back 1. No, because Perrin's up next, so we'll have her go 1, 2, 3, 4. Have her pull back there. And then with that will end her turn. No minors. Did I mark off her burning hands? Yep. She didn't use her heroic effort because it wouldn't make a difference. Perrin's up next. All right, Perrin needs to get a second wind going on here. So we'll first of all have him move 1, 2. That way he's kind of out of range there. I'll have him 3 go back there. And then as a standard action, I'll have him second wind, and he's going to get a +2 to all defenses. So let's add +2 all defenses, and it will be beneficial, and it'll be to the end of his next turn if I remember correctly. Yep. Okay. And then he will use his second wind, and he's going to use a healing surge. Don't think his second wind allows him to do anything else besides that. So there, and he's going to get 6 hit points back. 6 healing. Okay, so he's still bloody, but at least he's up to 10. He might be able to take a hit, but he's kind of hiding back around the corner there again. We'll leave it at that. And he does have a minor action, but he's used both his healing words. He does have a knack for success he could use. Target gains a +2 bonus to his or her next attack roll made before the end of his or her next turn. Target gains a +2 power bonus to his next skill check. Oh, it's close burst 5 though. Oh, I know what we could do. So this is going to be a radiant, so we'll put a blue out here. And it's a close burst 5. Let's see what happens here. So he can actually just barely hit Harbrick in his knack for success. We're going to use this. Where'd it go? And what he's going to do, you or one ally in the burst, he's going to put it on Harbrick. And he is going to... the target can shift up to 2 squares as a free action. So Harbrick's going to feel that surge, that knack for success go through him, and then he's going to shift 2. 1, 2. Beautiful. Because number 1, Andor's going to get the go, and he's going to get that 2d8 sneak attack damage. Perfect. Way to think, Perrin. Way to think. We'll take that zone away. Nice. I like it. And then that will end his turn. And then obviously it's Harbrick's turn. He is going to Reaping Strike. He won't get combat advantage, but Andor should get it the next turn. So he's going to Reaping Strike +7. And that is going to be against the warrior number 1's AC of 17. Come on, Harbrick. Yes. That's a hit, 25 hit. And he's going to do 2d6 plus 4. Ooh, okay, 9 damage. That's still good. That's still good. These guys are still up. They're so good. Ah, that bloodies him. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay. Now, Harbrick still does have a move action, but he's going to stay there. He is not moving because actually, you know what? I'll have him shift with his move here. No, I won't, because I don't want hit Andor to get a possible opportunity attack that could just somehow slip in there and hit and hurt him. So we'll leave it there. Harbrick will just stay where he's at. He's got his move action. He doesn't need to use it. He's already used his Dwarven Resilience, right? Did he use that? No, he hasn't used that yet. But he's okay. He's used one healing surge from somewhere else. I thought he used that. I'll have to double check when I look at the video again, but I think he's used that for this encounter, where he used his second one. I just didn't mark it off. Yeah, let me cut that off there. That's how he got his healing surge, because Perrin was mostly focused in on Andor right now. Anyway, moving on. Goblin Warrior number 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. He does have line of sight, but he's got a corner there, so he's going to throw at Mira. He's got it, but he's got a hard corner there that's going to be kind of hard to hit Perrin. So he's going to go after Mira again with his javelin attack. +6 against her AC of 14. That is a miss. Oh, great timing for a miss. Okay, move. Nothing else on there. Andor's turn. Andor will use his Death Strike he can move up to 2 squares. He moves the 1 square up there, get combat advantage with flanking with Harbrick, and he's going to do his +9 now with his flanking. Can't remember what it was. It's basically combat advantage. He gets a +2 to his attack roll, so it's going to be an 11 versus the AC of the warrior number 1, which is at 17. Let's see what happens. This is a Death Strike. Ooh, did we get him? Oh, we did. Yeah, thank goodness this time. So he will get his 1d4 +5 +2d8. Let's see what comes out. Come on, big damage. Ooh, is that a 7? Oh, it was a 4 and a 6. Darn it. Still, 19 damage on Andor. What a striker. Hits on number 1. 19 damage is going to be enough to end him. Number 1 joins his buddies in the graveyard. They are out of there. Nice shot, Andor. He still does have a move action, so obviously, what is this crazy little striker halfling going to do? He's going after number 2. So he's going to move his speed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and get up into melee with number 2 to see if he can, basically end this guy's here. So that'll do Andor's turn. He doesn't need a minor or anything. He did use his second chance. Yep, we're all good where we're at. Mira is next. So she's now going to come into the room seeing all the dead goblins laying on there and only 1 left. She will move down her speed and soften him up a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then she is going to shoot off a magic missile doing 7 damage to number 2. And he is now bloodied. Good job. On to Perrin. Perrin is exactly where he's at. Gosh, he really does need to do another healing, but he can't. He's already used his second wind for encounter power, so he's just going to have to wait. He's used his knack for success. Yeah, he's just going to have to hold there. He doesn't have anything else besides maybe coming out and doing a healing strike, but that's he could do some ranged attacks though. So let's have him. Let's have him do Sacred Flame. So have him move 1 here and do Sacred Flame against number 2, and then see if he can give 3 temporary hit points to Andor. So let's do that. +4 against Reflex, and that will be a Reflex of 15. That's a hit. 16. Hit by 1. And he does 1d6 +4. This could end him. This could end him right here. Let's see. Oh, and that is 9 damage, which that's just enough. 1 over to end the goblin. 9 damage. Nice. And then we won't worry about the 3 temporary hit points because at the end of the encounter, it will go away. And he joins his buddies in the graveyard. They are all done. All right. Those goblins put up quite the fight in this. Let's go ahead and end the encounter. And let's remove the monsters because they are no longer with us. And let's see what we need to do for our party. Oh my goodness. So, yeah, healing. We need some healing for everybody. So Andor, I mean, he's going to have to, he's 25, 11 out of 25. So he is actually missing 14 hit points. So if he spends 2 surges, but the way I usually play it too is like that the encounter powers and everything come back. There was a way to do this all, but I'll just go ahead and click through them. And then they could use them because it's kind of outside the encounter, and they could use them again and then go on to the next encounter. So what we'll do is we'll use a healing word. Since Andor and Perrin are the 2 worst, we're going to use a healing word on Andor, which he will gain his 6 from his surge. So let's do that. And then from the 1 healing word, he'll gain 1d6 +3 extra. At 5 each time. Whoops, wrong one. That gets him to 22. And he did use his healing word. Oh, he's got to use another one. Man, he's only got 4 left now. Harbeck's okay where he's at. He could use one just as a standard one for himself to gain 7. And that will bring him back up to full. Mira, she'll go ahead and use one for 5. That'll bring her up to 21. And then Perrin will use his last healing word out of encounter on himself. He'll get 6 +3 +1d6. So +9. So he's going to get 11 from 1 surge. And that brings him up pretty good. Okay, I'd like where we're at there. And that's down to 7. Okay, so currently everybody, Andor is at 22 out of 25 hit points with 4 of 7 surges. Maybe he won't run into the room as much as he had before. Harbeck is at full out of 10 for 12 surges. And Mira is at 21 for 23 of 6 of 7 surges. And Perrin is at 21 of 26 hit points with 7 of 9 surges. So that first room did take its toll kind of on them, softened up a little bit. Maybe they'll be a little bit wiser going into the next encounter. But this encounter does come to an end in this first chamber here, and the adventurers have been successful on clearing the goblins out. So with that, we'll go ahead and wait till next time and go from there. Thank you.